Hi, it's Anthony from CarPlayLife.com, and today we're checking out the magnet fast wireless car charger for iPhone 12 with MagSafe charging. So this specifically isn't a MagSafe charger. It does do 15 watts all the way down to 5 watts of charging, where we need to go into the car and actually see if it actually does give you a decent amount of charge to your iPhone 12. But my main reason for checking this out is it's got an array of magnets around the area which will work with the iPhone 12. So let's just find out what comes in the box. So in the box you get the magnetic charger itself with a ball socket and screw system. Another reason for checking this out is that it's got my preferred hook system for the vent mounting, with a screw which will increase and decrease the length of the hook as you pull it towards your vent mount blades, and you've got the ball joint here to attach it to the actual plate itself. If you've got a round air vent, it also comes with this little panel here which kind of almost sandwiches the mount between these arms and the actual ball joint section itself. Obviously a lot of mounts for iPhone 12 do not actually charge the phone, they just mount it. Not many do charge it. This is actually a charging magnetic charger. There's a USB-C input port here, and you also get a long USB-C to USB-A cable there too. Yeah, I'd say probably about 1 meter long USB-C to USB-A cable. And lastly, you get a small little booklet to tell you how to attach all the components that you get in the box. So originally this looks like you meant to get a ring, but there is no ring in this box, but that's not a problem for us because we're using our phone that has the magnets attached to it. But unfortunately, if you're buying this for a non-iPhone without the magnets in it, without that ring, it's not gonna work for you really. You need a magnet in the case or glued onto the back of the phone for this to work. But if you've got an iPhone 12 with MagSafe and the array of magnets on the back, it's going to attach itself to the array rings that are in here. So even with a case such as the Steel series that we've reviewed on the channel, it kind of does work. It does attach itself to there, which is quite surprising because some don't, but if I jiggle it, it will fall off. So ideally you do need to take it out of the case and use it naked, unless you've got a MagSafe case. But if it's actually bare bones and attached, it definitely will withstand a lot of wobble and won't come loose. There are many sellers of this mount on AliExpress. I decided to go for the cheapest, so it's roughly around £14. I'm not quite sure that is in dollars, but say about $20. And it looks quite good, it's quite discreet. The main thing is the mounting solution. This is the best vent mount solution that I've ever tried, so I was really looking for something that is discreet, charges your iPhone 12 because not many do, and also has this mounting solution. So I was really happy to see this listed on AliExpress, and shipping only took about 6 days to the UK from China, so that was really, really good too. So with the mount fitted, you've got this now on a ball joint. You also got rotation, but you probably would want to tighten this quite tight. The last Avalair mount that we've got with this device system on the back, this couldn't really tighten up enough. So I'm hoping that this can definitely get a lot tighter, and this will be a lot more, will have the ability to stay put, and it looks like it does, and while still having a little bit of movement to readjust it if you need to. And the best thing is the Avalair didn't allow you charging, and this will do. So let's get this in the car and see how it fits. Right, so we're in the VW Golf GTI Mark 7. This is what I've been using recently. I always like this Baseus mount. It does do wireless charging, but I've never had the reason to do it with the short trips that we're doing under lockdown. So this had fit the bill for now, and I've used the Avalair mounting solution into the same ball joint that we currently got on this Baseus charging mount. So we're just gonna unscrew this first. You can see it has the same hook system here as the one we just looked at in the studio, but this obviously has charging just like this does, but it does it through the MagSafe ring on the iPhone. So let's get this plugged in over the air blades and turn the screw to reduce the bar and hopefully get a good grip. As I explained before, you do have this little tool that you would position over this unit, like here. It's got two little teeth on the side here that lets you that fit with these teeth here, and that will go over and stops it from slipping up and down. And if you've got a round air blade vent like the Mercedes do, and I think some Audis do as well, these little feet here will just position themselves each side of the circle and give it a bit of cushioning. For here, I don't think it's really worth it, so I won't probably use it. So I'll use it without first and see if we actually need it. So I'm going to put this over the air vent blade here, and you can see I'm pulling it away, so it's definitely got the hook on this bit here. I can't put it on the top one, so I'm gonna do it clockwise, I think it is, which should be pulling it towards the blade, which it does, and there we go. That is rock solid, and that's why I think these are the best mounting solutions for air blades in any vent car, really. And you've got the ball joint here, which I've tightened it quite tight, so it does have some give to it, so it allows us to mount it in a nice way. And the USB socket is at the bottom here, so we're going to plug that in. I'll do it without first. So with the Spigen case that we reviewed, that should hopefully stay on there. I'll just refocus the camera a bit better. So you can see it does slip a little bit. This case, I wouldn't like to drive with this case on it. You can see I'm just turning it and it will just fall off. It might hold on to it with some vibration, but I think if you went over a pothole or something like that, I think it might fall off, like I just done there. So I wouldn't trust that. So I'll take it out of the case. So really this is if you've got a MagSafe case, or you're using the iPhone 12 totally naked like this. And there you go. It's on. I can turn it. It's not slipping off. This is definitely holding on to it, and once I plug it in, it's going to do charging as well. So we're going to take this off for now, and then I'm going to use its stock cable that it came with, but my only worry is that to get a good enough charge to get this to 15 watts, I'm not sure if this cable will do it. It's going to give it at least 18 watts, I'm sure, but we'll see. I've got a voltmeter here as well, so I'm going to plug that in, and we'll see how much charge is actually going to the adapter itself. So the cable plugs in like that, and we've got about a meter of play here, which is just enough to get into a standard voltage socket. What I'm going to use is the most powerful socket I've got. This is a PowerDrive or Power Speed Anker, and the USB-C port can do 30 watts. I'm not quite sure of the USB-A, probably slightly less. I'm hoping at least 20 watts. So we'll see what charge we get from this in a minute. But for now, I'm going to plug the USB-C end into the the USB-A port into a USB-A socket here, and then plug it in. So that's all powered and charging. We can probably channel this nicer down and into the center console at some point. So I'm going to power on to give the car some power. You can see up here, I don't know if you can see, there's like a little light that glows now on here, so that's cool. And now we will just pop it on. So there you go, MagSafe actually detected and charging, so that's pretty good. Very confident knowing that that is the case. It won't really tell me what it is charging at, what rate. So I've got some utility apps here that will tell me how much the battery's charging by. Once I dismiss all these ads, it says voltage of 3.6 volts, battery level at 79%. Charger quality, it says supercharger at 1000 milliamps. So I'd say that's 10 watts, I believe. It says it's charging fast. So the joy of having it as a magnetic mount, you don't really have to worry about putting much force on the blades, because you're not really twisting the mount as you turn. You're just twisting the phone on the actual magnet. So you're not putting any stress on the actual vent mount itself. So that's less chance of it coming loose, and less stress on the actual air blades itself as you put the phone on and off the actual mount. So that's super handy. But again, this is coming from the USB-A port. We might get better results if we go from USB-C to USB-C. So I do have another USB-C cable that we can test and see what the wattage is there. Also, I have a USB-A volt meter here, and also a USB-C one, so we can actually see what the wattage is going to the phone. Right, so I'm going to plug it into a voltmeter now, and a USB volt test meter. So as you can see, we're charging here, and we're following this cable all the way down and to our little voltmeter here, and you can see on the top right of this reading it's pumping out 7.88. We did get 9 earlier, but it's drawing about say 8 to 9 watts. So it's not getting us the 15 that MagSafe does, but because this is just a Qi charger, I'm not surprised. We're not ever going to get 15 out of this. If we do, that would be a miracle, unless Apple change how their charging behaves with Qi chargers. But for now, we're getting roughly about 7 to 10 watts out of this. So what I'll do, I'll swap the cables over and we'll try USB-C from this more powerful port here, and see if it does any better. So now we have a USB-C cable here, plugging into a USB-C into our little voltmeter here, and we've got to plug this into the USB-C port of this power adapter. So now we're seeing it plugged in, so it shouldn't be doing any draw at the moment. You can see there it's 0.03A amps, 0.1 watt of draw. We've got the car powered on as well, so don't worry about it drawing your battery in your car. We're now going to plug this on. So this isn't doing the MagSafe thing now. Don't know if it's because of the phone or what. So we're going to go back down here. This is displayed slightly differently this time, but you can see that we're getting 5 watts, which is a bit of a surprise for a USB-C port using this USB-C Anker cable as well, so it's a decent cable that I'm using. But oddly, it's not kind of get the charge we want. It's getting a lot more ampage but a lot less volts. So with the car running, we've got the voltmeter going back in again with USB-A using the bundled cable that you got with it. And the car's running, and we've got a draw of 1.0 and 1.3 watts. That's not too bad. So we're just going to get the phone, slap it onto the mount. There we go again. So you've got the MagSafe charging initiated. So it's got to be this cable. And back here again, we're going from 5 watts and higher. Also to bear in mind, once the phone gets to a certain threshold, roughly about 80-85%, the phone starts to tail off its charging ability. So we might be in that threshold now that the phone starts to draw less watts whilst it charges. So that's why we might be seeing a reduction now again, whereas before we were getting a lot more in charge. So now that we're over 80%, the phone might start tailing off to 5 watts. So ideally we need to discharge this phone again to get below, there we go, 7 watts there, because the phone is being used now. I'm trying to log in. So if I use sat nav like Waze on this, that might draw a little bit more off the battery, right? 82% now, as you can see here, 82%. And then we're at 7, 8, 9 watts again. So with this cable, it does give you at least up to say 10 watts on a good day. Maybe if the phone is really low, below 50%, it might go full whack and give us the full amount we want. But for a charging solution that works with MagSafe, this is pretty good. Works really well, and it's got all the necessary MagSafe ability. It's just unfortunate with the cases that these don't really work as intended, as you'd think. A lot of people are going to put these phones into cases, and unfortunately these MagSafe accessories will only work with the MagSafe case, or if you go naked, it's going to work with that too, as you have seen here. So let's just whack this in the case again. So we've got it in our Spigen case, which is quite thin anyway, but it does reduce the battery's the magnifying strength of the phone. You can see it's slightly slipping there. So it's going to hold on to it fine, but if I were to rotate, it's gone. As you saw me earlier rotating, it held on to it totally fine when the phone's naked. So unfortunately, it thinks it's portrait there. But I think as I move about or drive around, and I will try this, and I hope I don't scratch anything, but I think this wouldn't be good for the phone. If I were to go over a few bumps, it's definitely going to come loose. But if I do that, it's not doing much. If I sort of cradle it a bit, but if it's then it's going to slip off again. Right, so with CarPlay, using wireless dongle, you can either choose to use the through port to power this wireless mount, but it's only going to give you 5 watts. If you want any more than 5 watts, say 10, we've only been able to get up to 10 so far with this. You need to use the Anker USB-A port. We'll continue to try and see if we can get anything faster from the USB-C, which is 30 watts, but for some reason it only gives us 5 watts. So using the existing cable that comes with it, and a USB-A socket onto a more powerful charger, such as this 12 volt Anker PowerSpeed charger. So that will give us 10 watts to the mount itself. Alright, so thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It really helps us out. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.